from afar looks alright for black.
Very alright.
But we are focusing now on this Aronian Carlsen. And now it looks like bishop b7 is the best. Actually, there is also bishop h3, which you can consider. There is a small difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Here that the knight is able to come to d5 and to c3. And then
it's a new game, huh?
It's not so easy, maybe. Because it's just a pawn for, I mean, you're an exchange up. It's just still a pawn for black, and a very nice square coming, and e2 will be very weak. So here it might not be so clear. So bishop b7.
I think it's a clever idea to reduce the minor pieces when you're the exchanger.
So now this is the point.
This looks winning to me.
Knight d5 cannot be played anymore.
No, just
that's the big difference with having this bishop here. On the other hand, it's about assessing this endgame, which we just briefly mentioned.
Now let's see what's the most exacting move order here.
Maybe you come back to a2, and so that if he defends from here, basically you're going to get the a pawn easily. Now
and rook a4.
Rook a4.
This should be a technical win. Not easy, but I mean, Aronian
he's gone to b7, right? He's gone to b7.
Yes.
So he's gone to b7, and we have now this position, which
should be still a technical win.
So now he's showing accuracy.
Yes.
Again, maybe he did not play the 2 or 3 moves, but what can you say?
Well, bishop h3 was out of this world. Huh? It's a nice move. Huh?
Bishop h3 in another line, yeah?
With the bishop on e6, that was nice.
It's not so easy to see.
With the pin on.
Now it's nice.
So probably it just has to take that ending. But the problem is you cannot trouble waters after that. I mean,
well, the problem is
too simple. The position is too simple.
Yeah, black doesn't really have any options here. I mean, the knight is hanging.
Yes,
so you have to take on b7.
And let's have a look at the clock. I mean,
yeah, 1 minute here, but it's not going to be the kind of positions where you need too much time to defend for Carlsen. Once he takes here and then takes here and takes on c4. That's actually what's happening now. So we're gonna have it. He's gonna take on a3. He's gonna lose the a pawn soon, certainly.
He's losing that endgame. That's my prediction. Because I mean, it may look simple, but where to put the knight exactly?
No, it's not simple. It's not at all simple.
No.
But Carlsen is a magician.
How to play with black? I mean, it may look a bit to defend with this knight. And
the knight might have a
maybe he's cut out from the center.
King g2. All right, king
Why
g2.
Not?
Yeah. The only thing is now maybe
he shouldn't postpone to win the pawn.
He shouldn't wait too long. Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Maybe.
He wants to walk out with the king, of course.
Yeah. But maybe a4 here. What's going on here?
Why?
I wanted to go to c3, but
even then I have a check. Even then I have a check.
Yeah, you also have a check. It's true. Yeah. So g5 might be a move to try.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, but you need to find then. Basically, when you defend with a knight against a rook,
so what did you do?
Pawns, you play knight c4 and g4.
Yes, this.
So is Aronian going to be able? Remember, in the Blitz tournament on the opening day, after the opening ceremony, they played the Blitz tournament to determine who would play with which starting number. And Aronian completely outclassed Carlsen in that Blitz. Well, we have to say that Carlsen played a very strange opening.
Yes.
Though. Nevertheless, he completely outclassed him. He won a pawn. He had 2 minutes against a few seconds, and Carlsen kept his cool. This was unbelievable, and he managed to hold the draw.
Yeah, incredible.
So I'm sure Aronian has not forgotten this small, unpleasant.
Yes. But he has all the time now.
He has a lot of time, but it's not like Blitz, of course. He has 8
so
minutes.
It looks like rook b6 is very precise. I maybe he just wants to attack the e5 pawn first. Huh?
Yeah, actually, the knight on d6 is not doing too badly, but it's not stabilized there.
Yeah, exactly. So rook
That's the
D6,
main problem
yeah.
for to defend this endgame. You need a nice square for the knight. Somewhere where you can
E6.
say, I stand and you don't remove me from there.
The dream would be knight E6.
Six. But knight e6, the problem is you cannot play this endgame without playing f6 at some point, because
and then you're cut off.
I mean, I'm going to attack this pawn, and you will have to play f6 at some point. So you don't really have. I mean, this is the pawn structure which I have in mind. Let's say, let's say that black loses this pawn, a pawn. He doesn't have to lose it immediately, but let's say, and this is the structure which he has. Well, he cannot really avoid it.
Yes.
So then, where to put the knight?
Yeah,
that's the main question. So he's played rook a7.
Which is maybe
And
not
f6, actually,
F6.
they're playing the moves. Yeah, he could try to hang on to the pawn by knight c4.
So he's going to take it?
I guess he is. Still, what is the plan to win? Let's say after rook takes a5, he plays king f7. King f7, there is
just
check
come back,
there.
yeah.
So he's going to e4. Knight e4,
Yeah. Yeah, here maybe even f4 is forcing events.
Pretty strong f4.
Yeah. And then come with the king.
Because now
Yes.
you can't defend here.
No. So, but how do we win if he just plays king f7, king g6?
No? You
No,
mean?
before, instead of knight e4. Which,
But he's played knight e4.
okay.
He's played knight
Okay.
e4, yeah. Yeah, king f7 was a better.
Yeah. Okay,
But he
let's.
hasn't played. He played h4. He played h4.
So it looks like f4 was the.
f4 would have been.
Yeah, but h4 wins just as well.
In a way, it's technical, but f4 was very straightforward and seemed to be very strong.
So.
So, of course, we are not going to leave this game, but just Caruana has given back the exchange in order to destroy black's pawn structure. Still, it looks black is doing well, but this is just a glance from afar.
It looks almost lost.
H5 now by Carlsen. What is this? What is this?
Well, it's a nice try, but he's just going to take it.
Yeah, he's going to take it, but on the other hand, he keeps, I don't know, f4, without f4, well, not now, of course, but let's say here and then at some point f4, without this move, it looks difficult to progress.
Yes.
But he has certainly.
So king h7, I suppose. But this nasty move, rook a8, then you cannot progress.
Yeah.
Because.
And what about f4 in this position?
Well, even
Takes and king g3, yeah, that.
Knight g3. Yeah.
King f3, knight g3 is the.
Rook d5, just quietly.
So he
took it.
He took it. King h7, automatic.
I would say rook a8 is a stop. It's a stopping.
I prefer
move.
f4.
Okay, never mind.
Well, rook
Both
a8 is
okay.
nice, but what's
No, I mean
next?
it's a human move. Just.
It's very human.
And then I go f4, rook d8.
Yeah, looks very good too. Indeed, nothing to say.
Yeah, but f4 is strong. But why didn't he play it before? I mean, why give back some material? He looks very confident.
Well, he has a lot of time. He has material advantage and technically winning position. But some pawns are going to get off the board. Rook a8, he's done. Your move. Play your move.
Yeah, it's just lost. Somehow this king is trapped now.
And look at the clock ticking, 30 seconds. And it's not easy to keep control for black in this position. Because you need to be aware of all possible white resources. So he's going back to d6.
Now it's really completely lost. You can play king f4, king g4, king f3, sorry, king g4. You can play rook d8 just to show that the knight has no secure.
He's going to go to f5 probably, but then it's
king h3.
h3.
Well, what's your next move?
Yeah. So we remind you, king h8, h6 is always a little problem here. So we have some moves.
He went
king f3.
Yeah.
All right. It's a matter of so king
Knight
g4.
King g4. Knight jumps back or gives. How about the check? on h6.
Well, you'll hide on h3
Yeah.
anyway.
King h3, and now this rook d8 is kind of paralyzing. Looks strong.
Yeah, rook d8 is very nasty.
Yes.
Basically, if knight h6 back, then
F4
probably f4 is
just
coming.
wins.
Yeah, and the problem is you can't even hang on to this pawn f4 now.
Yeah.
What about f3? Is this so? Well, it's not a fortress, of course. So they have played these moves. Yeah. Actually, the king is back to h3. Carlsen got some more time. Okay, he's got 1 minute. I mean, Carlsen's main problem is not the clock here.
Yes,
Definitely.
it's the position.
Yeah.
So we expect rook d8.
D8
Paralyzing.
is easy, yeah. Yeah, this is good technique.
And he does it.
Good technique.
So the advantage has reached a level where there is no doubt, usually.
Yeah. Indeed, yeah. Although, well, if we look at the evaluation of the engine, it's always in these endings
I know.
a bit misleading because it has sometimes problem. In this case, it might be true because it looks really that white is winning. But in general, we have to be careful with the engine's
Yeah,
evaluation.
if it's 1 point something, it can still change.
Yeah.
But as they know in correspondence chess, if it's over 2, normally you don't recover. Eh?
Yeah, but sometimes in some fortress positions, the crucial factor is not so much the evaluation in itself, even though, as you say, if it's too high, it's too high. But it's whether you see one line with like one line is different. Like you have in one line +3 and the rest is +1. That means you can make progress.
Yes.
But if all lines are +250, and
means maybe
first,
it's-
second, third, all
Yes.
lines are +250, that means the computer doesn't know how to make progress.
Okay.
And
So-
this is sometimes misleading.
So they should have exactly the ending we expected.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it looks...
Actually, he could have played f3, but he decided to leave this pawn on
so
e.
it's not just a matter of technique and not running into a fork.
Yeah, that's the last hope for
Okay, rook d5.
knight c4. So don't play king g4, even though no, it's not, it would not be good indeed.
How about e4? I mean, it's just... e4 is fair enough. Rook d7 is...
Yeah, or well, yeah, rook d7 is nice too, actually.
And then, yeah.
King g3,
G3,
quietly.
You know, knight d5 is
Well, it's probably
kind
lost,
of win. Yeah, but
Knight e5 is probably just rook takes, no? Isn't it? Something like this
Yes.
this should be over.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But, okay, he hasn't done it. He has played another move. Knight
Three
e3,
now.
rook c5, and
We know how, why
Ouch.
it goes to the maximum distance.
yes. This is always a very important thing to remember, especially for those of you who might be starting out in chess. The knight has problems reaching this kind of squares. He needs so many moves. This is, as you call it, maximal distance.
So, wow.
So, and it's likely that the knight will be caught. Actually, it is
Certainly.
almost called king f4, knight d2, and now you can see these squares are all controlled by white's pieces. So what he can do is go back or go here. And it's all
Yes.
pretty sad. The main question is actually how to progress.
Yes.
But an idea is maybe to play king here, with the idea to play rook here.
Yes.
But he plays quietly. He plays very easy. Sorry, in this position he played e3, knight b3,
Rook
c.
b3. My goodness.
And now if you move here, you're getting completely out of, you know, where you should be here on e5 or something. He has no choice basically.
Threatening our...
Yeah, rook. Now you can't take here. It's the knight hanging here. Ah,
Yes, yes.
so but he went back to h7 and resigns. King f5 resigns.